Reclaiming Trust: How Transparent Elections Can Save Money and Strengthen Democracy in Arizona and Across America. Audit Smarter, Not Harder: The Case for ABE or Programs like ABE. By John Brakey, Director, Audit USA. Thursday, December 12, 2024. Open letter to the Pinal County Board of Supervisors, Recorder, and Clerk. We at Audit USA believe that electoral vigilance is both the duty and privilege of every citizen striving for a truly representative government. For more than 2 decades of unwavering advocacy, we continue to fight for elections that are transparent, trackable, and verifiable by the public. In the 2024 election, 88 million U.S. voters chose not to participate. How many of them shared Christine Moses' sentiment when she wrote, "Voting has become an act of endorsing your own systematic oppression and perpetuates the illusion that we live in a functioning democracy"? Out of approximately 244 million eligible voters in 2024, only 155.5 million participated, resulting in a voter turnout of about 63.7%. This significant gap underscores a crisis of confidence in our electoral system, one that we cannot ignore. usnews.com. We at Audit USA propose a clear and cost-effective solution for verifying elections, one that restores public trust while reducing reliance on expensive consultants and recounts. Transparency, accuracy, and public confidence are the pillars of a functioning democracy, and strengthening them must be our priority. On November 27, 2024, I, along with Ken Bennet, former Secretary of State, submitted a public records request (PRR) to your offices. I followed up with a revised request on November 30 to ensure clarity and precision. Link to that request. Our proposal isn't just about compliance, it's about opportunity, the opportunity to lead the way in setting a new standard for verified elections with real integrity and redundancy. Seeing is believing. The future of our nation depends on restoring faith through facts for we the people by embracing transparency as a core democratic value essential to preserving our democratic republic. After sending my first PRR, I was surprised to learn that Pinal County had spent $150,000 on an evaluation conducted by the law firm Snell and Wilmer to settle a dispute over the results of the sheriff's race in the 2024 primary election. This was an extensive report. However, more transparent and convincing results could have been achieved for free by using ABE Auditable Ballot Election Program, a software tool developed by Audit USA that I had previously demonstrated to county officials. On July 18, less than 2 weeks before the July 30, 2024, primary election conducted by Pinal County, I met with County Supervisor Stephen Q. Miller, County Recorder Dana Lewis, and Tom Bean, former chair of the Pinal County Democratic Party. Former AZ Secretary of State Ken Bennet joined us by Zoom. In the meeting, I demonstrated the ABE audit system, Audited Ballot Elections, developed by my organization, Audit USA. I explained that we were offering this revolutionary software tool to the county at no cost. I further explained that ABE operates independently and only requires exporting the CVR database and ballot images to a USB drive and then to a freestanding computer not connected to the internet. Supervisor Miller expressed interest but stated the need to first form a committee to study ABE, consulting attorneys, and potentially vote on its implementation next year. A month later, the county's consultant report failed to analyze even a single ballot from the disputed sheriff's race, the very issue ABE was designed to resolve. The issue is particularly troubling given that a fellow board member and candidate alleged that his race in the sheriff's election was rigged. Missed opportunities for transparency. Is ARS Section 16-602 dysfunctional? For the hand count audit, the Board of Supervisors, serving as the Board of Elections, faced legal constraints stemming from court rulings, particularly the Cochise County case, which curtailed county's authority to include additional races, such as the sheriff's race, for verification. This limitation deviates from the original intent of ARS Section 16-602, as explained by former Representative Ted Downing, one of the bill's key sponsors. This restriction represented a significantly missed opportunity to address public concerns and bolster transparency. Auditing the sheriff's race would not have required additional ballots, as the ballots already being reviewed for other races could have been used. Given the number of teams involved in the counting process, this extra verification step would likely have taken no more than an hour. Why were county races excluded originally in 2006? The county was only allowed to look at statewide and federal races in the initial handcount audit following the July primary. State law, Statute ARS 16-602, does not allow any county races to be audited. In our view, it is utterly irrational that Arizona counties are prohibited from reviewing contested county races in the handcount audit, using the very same ballots employed in the audit process. As detailed in Professor Ted Downing's testimony, county races were excluded from ARS 16-602 due to compromises made during the bill's drafting in 2006. The Arizona Association of Counties, in 2006, headed by Karen Osborne, Maricopa election, and Brad Nelson, Pima election, stated they would oppose the audit bill completely if county races were included. This legal limitation as of now prevents boards of supervisors, BOS, from taking straightforward steps to enhance election transparency and leaves all county races completely unauditable. By failing to audit a controversial contested race, the process not only undermines public confidence but also misses an opportunity to demonstrate a genuine commitment to election integrity. Auditing unrelated races and declaring their results flawless, yet ignoring a race with allegations of rigging, is not only illogical but also irresponsible. This approach is akin to a detective attempting to solve a case without questioning the prime suspect. Historical context, ARS Section 16-602. The current Arizona law mandating handcount audits excludes county races, a glaring omission underscored by the fact that a disputed county race, the sheriff's race in Pinal County, triggered a $150,000 investigation. This exclusion dates back to a 2006 legislative compromise, as explained by former Representative Ted Downing in court testimony. Downing, alongside former Senator Karen Johnson, introduced SB 1557, a bill aimed at requiring random audits and handcounts of election results. However, county election officials threatened to oppose the legislation unless county-level races were excluded. This ultimatum resulted in a diluted law that fails to provide transparency for county races or county bond elections. Video excerpt.
Or did you discuss the bill with people involved in the various counties' elections departments?
Yes, it's a pro forma procedure when you do an election bill in the legislature that the county election directors and recorders are brought into the process. This bill, because it involves substantial changes in the workload of the county election directors and recorders, they were invited in by Karen Johnson and me, and we had several meetings, multiple meetings, including with Brad Nelson, who, if I recall right, he was the president or some designated leadership role in the 15 county election process, and the other one was Karen Osborne from Maricopa County. And
Brad Nelson, in addition to holding the position with the statewide organization, is he also the director of the Pinal County Elections Department?
Yes, he was election director.
All right. Were you instructed by Brad Nelson about any races that he did not want to be included in the required state law for hand audits?
In the design of the hand count audit, we had to decide which elections were auditable because it was impossible to audit all elections. And we decided federal, state, and federal, state, one major, legislative races, and questions arose during those discussions whether to do county elections.
What were you told by Brad Nelson concerning whether or not you could include county elections?
They didn't like it, and they didn't want to include counties, and in fact we were told that they would not continue to work with us on the bill. They would oppose the bill if we allowed counties to be included.
And with your knowledge of the state system, would the state elections director opposing the bill have affected whether or not it could?
It would effectively kill the bill.
All right.
The movie Fatally Flawed highlights the story of a county bond election, shedding light on these issues. Additionally, Attorney Bill Reisner's statement of facts on the RTA case in January 2012 and his resolution to the ADP State Party meeting, which passed in January 2010, are essential reading for anyone seeking to understand the systemic flaws in our election processes. As Reisner and Brakey aptly notes, nothing is fixed until we know why it broke. At Audit USA, our understanding is built on facts gathered through rigorous analysis and numerous court cases. Without Bill Reisner's tireless efforts, it would not have been possible to uncover the depth of the problems or to collect the critical evidence that forms the foundation of our work and understanding of how elections work. ABE offers a modern solution for verifying elections without altering existing laws. By using ballot images, ABE provides stakeholders with definitive proof that votes are accurate and best counted at the precinct level. For elections, transparency tools like ABE provide an independent way to verify results, ensuring public confidence and reducing costly disputes. Recommendations for procedural improvement statewide. To ensure greater transparency and public confidence in future elections, Audit USA recommends the following procedural improvement. Delay batch selection until results are finalized. Batches selected for hand recounts should not be chosen until all results from election night are finalized and committed. Currently, in many counties, batches are selected as early as the first day of vote by mail ballot counting, with selections continuing daily thereafter. Mitigate insider exploitation risks. These batch selections are documented in the Election Management System, EMS, with reports printed after each batch. If insiders are aware of which batches to avoid tampering with, they could exploit this process, resulting in a profoundly flawed system. This loophole creates the potential for a crooked process where hand audits can be gamed. By implementing these changes, counties can strengthen election integrity, reduce vulnerabilities, and rebuild public trust in the electoral process. ABE explained what it is and why it's essential. ABE is a hybrid system that integrates technology with human oversight, ensuring secure, transparent, and trustworthy election audits. It requires manual effort to perform a risk-limiting type audit, verifying that records in the Cast Vote Record (CVR) database have not been altered or manipulated. After all, it's just a spreadsheet. What do you want it to be? Ballots and ballot images create essential redundancy. ABE delivers clear, actionable insights through its unique capabilities. Efficient. Powered by Microsoft Office Excel and a custom macro we developed, ABE can process over 400,000 ballot images in approximately an hour. Transparent. ABE generates detailed reports that identify overvotes, undervotes, and potential discrepancies, ensuring every ballot is accurately accounted for and publicly auditable. Transformative. Election processes can now achieve 100% transparency. With ABE, ballot images can be posted online and hyperlinked to the 109 precinct CVRs in Pinal County, easily shareable via email. Collaborative. Let's crowdsource the truth and spread election integrity from coast to coast. This unparalleled transparency can win over even the most hardened skeptics, signaling the end of the black box era in election systems. Why is this important? The integrity of our democratic process hinges on trust that every vote is counted accurately and fairly. ABE not only provides a transparent system but also empowers citizens to verify elections themselves. By demystifying the election process and making data publicly accessible, ABE addresses skepticism, rebuilds confidence, and fosters a sense of shared responsibility in safeguarding democracy. When election transparency is this clear, trust is no longer an issue, it becomes a reality. An article published in the Washington Monthly extensively quotes Arizona's Secretary of State Adrian Fontes about the value of post-election review of ballot images and the cast vote record, and the increase in public trust in election results if ballot images and cast vote records are posted online. The following are excerpted from 3 paragraphs from this article. One of Fontes's most revolutionary policy pursuits is straightforward. He believes that in every election, during the most disinformation-prone stage, immediately after the votes are counted but before the winner has been certified, election officials should publish digital images of every ballot cast. Those images should be uploaded in a form that's easy to read and sort, so rival campaigns, grassroots groups, press outlets, academics, and individual citizens could judge the results of an election for themselves, rather than having to rely on an official's word. Those who continued to spout groundless theories of malfeasance or fraud could also then be checked by other outside groups and individuals with direct access to the same ballot images. This push toward radical transparency represents a sea change for U.S. election management. For most of the last century, officials have simply asked citizens to trust that a count is correct, that the systems in place were credible. That era is over, Fontes said. Public trust in government institutions is now at a near historic low. Just 20% of Americans say they're very confident in the country's elections, according to a January 2022 ABC/Ipsos poll. The modern American public needs more proof, Fontes said, and ballot images are the key. The principle that a person can walk into a county treasurer's office and ask for the budget and be shown where the money from the county is actually being spent is almost exactly the same, Fontes said. Except that this is actually better, because this is the real representation. It's as if you walked into the county treasurer's office and got copies of all of the canceled checks. Fontes recalled that in Mongolia, 98% of the voters report very high confidence in the outcome of elections. Fontes asked the guy what the country's trick was. He said, well, this place actually publishes their ballots online, by precincts, so that the population can go through it their doggone selves, Fontes said. Excerpt from Washington Monthly, Show Me the Ballot by Steve Rosenfield, October 29, 2023. ABE offers a modern solution for verifying elections without altering existing laws. By using ballot images, ABE provides stakeholders with definitive proof that votes are accurate and best counted at the precinct level, the foundation of election integrity. It appears that Snell and Wilmer made no efforts to directly examining the ballots, or better yet, the ballot images, and comparing them to the cast vote record, CVR, database. This comparison would have confirmed whether the votes cast were accurately recorded. According to Arizona Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, whom we met on July 16 for about 90 minutes alongside Senator Ken Bennet, Bill Reisner, and Arlene Leaf to discuss ABE, counties, and legal limitations. RS Section 16-602 does not prevent a county from reviewing digital records such as ballot images or the CVR database. From that meeting, we understood that the boards of supervisors have the authority to use digital records for election verification and analysis. However, they are restricted by law from handling hand-marked paper ballots outside of the official hand count audit process without a judge's order. In the sheriff's race, reviewing all ballot images using a program like ABE would have taken about the same amount of time as reviewing just a few paper ballots manually. ABE could also have sorted all ballot images by precinct, allowing for a straightforward comparison to voter turnout numbers, ensuring a faster, more transparent, and accurate audit process. Expert witness Mickey Duniho on the myth of logic and accuracy testing. In a pivotal case in Santa Cruz County, Arizona, Audit/Breakey versus Santa Cruz County, expert witness Mickey Duniho provided critical insights into the shortcomings of logic and accuracy, LNA, testing. His testimony highlights why these tests are insufficient for ensuring election integrity. Mr. Duniho, a master programmer, retired after 37 years with the National Security Agency, NSA. This case centered on a dispute over public records, and we prevailed, securing a victory for transparency and accountability in elections. For a detailed explanation by Mickey, watch the 6-minute video recorded on October 15, 2014. Here is a video excerpt.
It appears that possibly the database was programmed externally to Santa Cruz County, and number 10 deals with network connections and might give some information about whether anybody outside of Santa Cruz County had access to the central count computer.
Okay. Yeah, do I understand correctly then? Are you saying that number 10 allows would allow independent verification, that no one is getting around the logic and accuracy process?
Yes. In the sense that if you could show through the response to number 10 that there was no network connection, then that would at least rule out one possible source of fraud occurring on election day or during the counting of early ballots. It wouldn't rule out all possible avenues of fraud, but it would be one avenue of fraud that you could rule out.
Would a logic and accuracy test also allow this avenue to be ruled out?
No, unfortunately, the logic and accuracy test is not designed to rule out fraud at all. The logic and accuracy test only tells you that the database was set up correctly.
Okay. Your Honor, we have no further questions at this time. Mr. Donovan.
A parallel example of an LNA test, the Volkswagen scandal that cost VW $33.3 billion in fines and settlements as of June 2020. The Volkswagen VW emissions scandal illustrates how testing alone can be manipulated. VW used software to cheat emissions tests globally, misleading millions about their diesel engine's environmental impact. As described by the BBC, the EPA has said that the engines had computer software that could sense test scenarios by monitoring speed, engine operation, air pressure, and even the position of the steering wheel. When the cars were operating under controlled laboratory conditions, the device appears to have put the vehicle into a sort of safety mode in which the engine ran below normal power and performance. Once on the road, the engine switched out of this test mode. The result? The engines emitted pollutants up to 40 to 80 times above U.S. limits. An examination of the report commissioned by Pinal County, managed by the law firm Snell and Wilmer, reveals that it was intended to conduct an evaluation aimed at proving the accuracy of the sheriff's race results. The report is entitled, Evaluation of Supervisor Kevin Kavanaugh's Report of Obvious Errors in the 2024 Primary Election, prepared by Snell and Wilmer LLP. From our reading of the report, it references logic and accuracy, LNA, testing 36 times. However, it never mentions ballot images or the importance of the cast vote record, CVR, database, which is a vital tool for auditing elections, easily proving that the system has recorded the voter's choice accurately. What did Mickey and VW teach us about election security? An emissions test for a car is much like a logic and accuracy, LNA, test for voting equipment. Both are meant to certify proper functioning but may fall short of ensuring long-term reliability. Election officials are required to perform LNA tests on voting machines before an election by running test ballots through optical or digital scanners. This process verifies that the software is correctly configured to count ballots accurately. However, it's troubling that election administrators receive no formal training in software or hardware testing yet are tasked with verifying not only the software but also how it interacts with the hardware it runs on. Mickey Duniho, a former master programmer with 37 years at the NSA, served as an expert witness in 2014, testifying about the myth of the LNA test's reliability. The role of precincts in election integrity. ABE, A Better Election, organizes and cross-references precinct-level data, which helps ensure accurate election verification. Precincts are the building blocks of election integrity, Brakey explained. ABE organizes and cross-references precinct-level data, streamlining the audit process. Operating within Microsoft Office Excel, ABE utilizes the county's election system database, known as the Cast Vote Record, CVR, formatted as rows and columns in a spreadsheet. This design ensures accessibility and ease of use, empowering citizens to verify election outcomes using data directly sourced from the official election record. By utilizing a two-screen setup. One screen displays the ballot images, while the other shows the CVR database, where each row in the CVR is hyperlinked directly to the corresponding ballot image for verifying the data. To audit in the CVR, we use a risk-limiting method. One auditor reads the ballot from start to finish, while another cross-references each entry in the CVR to ensure an exact match to validate that each recorded vote is accurately recorded and was counted. Sampling methods need to vary by each precinct you audit. For example, in one precinct, you might review every 30th entry, positions 1, 31, 61, 91, etc. Since these machines only register marks within the designated bubble, discrepancies often arise from interpreting voter intent. The beta version of ABE, Ballot Image 421I, or I denotes image, reveals voter intent issues in 13 out of 14 contests. All the votes on the right side of this ballot were counted as undervotes. In this particular case, the voters circled candidate names instead of filling in the ovals. By chance, one of the circled names had a line passing through the corresponding oval, making it the only vote the machine recorded as valid. Addressing election skepticism. Election uncertainty has divided our nation for decades, from disputes in 2000, 2004, and 2016 from Democrats now to Republicans' concerns on steroids in 2020. Transparency is essential to restoring trust. Transparent audits using ballot images reinforce trust, showing stakeholders that elections are accurate, fair, and real. Most discrepancies arise from voter intent errors, such as incomplete marks, which can be easily resolved as in the slide on the right. This was published on the original Intercept. A blast from the past, fatally flawed, the Pima County bond election scandal from 18 years ago remains a stark reminder of the need for election integrity. For over 20 years, we have been tirelessly working to make elections transparent, trackable, and publicly verifiable. In the Pima County case, we had 3 court cases to collect the evidence, and the 4th was intended to present it. They wouldn't let us proceed. After reading Bill Reisner's statement of facts, completely laid out the case with the evidence in a 76-page brief. We engaged in the RTA case for over 8 years, and near the end, Pima County filed a motion to have the case dismissed, arguing that we hadn't claimed they would commit similar actions in the future. Strangely, the motion succeeded. That was a long time ago, and much has changed since then. Pima County Elections is now under new management, and both Pima and Maricopa counties are recognized as 2 of the best election departments in the country. Recommendations. ABE offers a modern solution for verifying elections in the digital world without altering existing laws. By using ballot images, ABE provides stakeholders with definitive proof that votes are accurate and best counted at the precinct level, the foundation of election integrity. For elections, transparency tools like ABE provide an independent way to verify results, ensuring public confidence and reducing costly disputes. I encourage you to watch this video to see some of ABE's capabilities in action. Download an ABE beta and run it yourself. A call to action. Conclusion. By embracing tools like ABE and others, Pinal County has a unique opportunity to lead in election transparency, reduce reliance on costly consultants, and rebuild public trust. Once you see how ABE enhances transparency and restores trust, I am confident you will recognize its value and advocate for its implementation in all future elections and audits. In closing, I hope we can collaborate, including on necessary legislative improvements. Arizona's audit law, ARS Section 16-602, needs a complete overhaul to allow the use of ballot images and cast vote records, CVRs, for verifying election results. In Maryland, when an election recount is triggered, candidates are given 2 options: a machine recount or access to the CVR database and ballot images, enabling them to verify results independently. These records should also be posted online after every election to maximize transparency and build voter confidence. Several jurisdictions, including Maryland, Georgia, San Francisco, and counties in Wisconsin, already post these records online. Arizona should follow their lead. Furthermore, the hand count audit provisions in ARS Section 16-602 should be expanded and strengthened to ensure these audits are meaningful, not merely symbolic. If my directness has offended anyone, I sincerely apologize. It stems from my deep passion for this critical issue. Thank you for considering this important matter. Ken Bennet and I would greatly appreciate the opportunity to tour your new $29 million election facility and discuss elections together. Best regards. John R. Brakey, Director, Audit USA. Transparency equals truth. Abe Lincoln believed in transparency, as evidenced by the following quote: "I have faith in the people. They will not consent to disunion. The danger is, they are misled. Let them know the truth, and the country is safe." Abraham Lincoln. In that spirit, we were inspired to build this program and name it after Abe. For 99.8% of voters, the release of ballot records led to no revelation of any vote choice. Once a ballot leaves a voter's hand or is removed from a mail-in ballot return envelope, there is nothing that ties that ballot to a voter. It's an anonymous ballot. Here is a solution for that 0.2% that could be exposed. Pass a law making it illegal to reveal someone's ballot's identity. Just as cars, despite being dangerous, are not banned, we can address the issue with legislation without compromising the utility of ballot images. John F. Kennedy quote: "One person can make a difference, and everyone should try." Please help us make elections transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. We depend on donations to support our work. Get involved. Spread the word. The problems with elections are complicated, but the solution is simple, it's called transparency, and its name is ABE. Trust but verify. For more information and to download ABE and run the beta for yourself, go here. Our board from left to right: Bill Reisner, Arlene Leaf, John Brakey, our beloved chair the late great Peggy Hitchcock, we miss you, Lynn Bernstein, and Benny Smith. Summary: pioneering an achievable method of public oversight of elections to deter election fraud and ensure transparent and accurate vote counts. Description: Audit USA is doing what no other organization in the country is doing, pursuing a concrete and achievable strategy to bring public oversight to the vote count verification process. Moreover, we are doing it with tremendous commitment, energy, love, and resolve. For more information on our work, we just recently moved to Substack, so please check us out there. This is where free speech is not censored. My Substack page, https://johnrbrakey.substack.com. When Mickey Duniho testified in Santa Cruz County court case in 2014, he pointed out how easy it would be to fool a logic and accuracy test. A few months later, Dieselgate broke, proving our point. Over the years, we have tried to educate all involved in our preliminary findings, which in most cases is the lack of administrative accountability and issues surrounding the verification of election results. Many times, when we ask election officials how they know that their election results are accurate, they respond and say, "We ran a logic and accuracy test." Usually, they write us off, with groupthink, by asking if we are conspiracy theorists. I typically smile, respond, and state that I'm a conspiracy factualist, since I deal with facts and we know how the systems could be programmed to cheat, and I try to explain how Volkswagen did it, and why random audits are essential. The Volkswagen emissions scandal proved how easy it was to cheat using computers that were built into their diesel vehicles sold in the US. Watch Dieselgate: How the Auto Industry Lied to Us All, the Volkswagen emissions scandal documentary. Thank you for taking the time to read and listen to all of this.